Come warm yourself round the roaring fire that is Scottish baseball, and welcome to the second weekend of our opening weekend double header, and the first to head up onto YouTube. We're here for the single A game between the Edinburgh Knights and the Tayport Breakers. Edinburgh Knights sporting a 1-0 record. The Breakers, it's the start of their 2025 season. I'm Ewan Spence. Welcome to the game. Your first three going for the Knights: Purcell, McCaffrey and Horn. For those of you keeping track of the game start time, it's 2 minutes past 11. For those of you keeping your scorecard, and this game is underway. I'm Ewan Spence. Swing coming in there, outside and low.
No balls, 2 strikes.
Count goes 0-2. Rennie is pitching for the Tayport Breakers and brings himself ahead in the count.
Ball.
Throws in high. Count goes 1-2.
Yeah, I've had it ducking down and it back again as he means swing.
That's a high ball, but it's chopped down by Purcell as he makes a sprint to the first base, but picked up by second baseman, tossed over to first baseman. First out on a grounder for 3, 1 away.
1 away.
No ribbons today. No.
DH, Christine McCaffrey, not sure where that came from. Kayla McCaffrey comes up in the DH spot, batting second for the Edinburgh Knights.
Ball.
Ball goes to the outside and top corner out of the zone. 1-0.
Ball.
The ball there bounces in front of the plate. And fastball goes to the outside there. Straight into the solid.
2 balls,
back
1 strike.
stop, which as you can tell is a little bit loud.
Hey. Ball.
Which comes in high again for another ball. Decision made. Pitch comes down. Swing and a miss there.
I'll just try. I'm just stupid.
3 balls, 2 strikes, and yes, it was in the zone.
It was, yes, thank you.
And we have a full count, so for the first point in this game, we're going to be knocking on the door. Mark, something's going to happen, or there's going to be a foul.
Ball 4.
Bounces on the dirt. Potentially look if it's going to be wide onto the outside. In any case, we have a walk. McCaffrey becomes our first base runner of the game. James Horn up next. Runner goes from second. Throw comes in. It's going to be late. High and looping from the catcher, so that's a successful steal, and our Scottish two-step is underway. Step 1 on base. Step 2, steal second. Runner in scoring position for the Edinburgh Knights.
Ball.
On the outside there. Horn batting 1 for 3 last week in their opening game. So it's a 3-3 on the board for him.
The actual flick off the hand's really quick.
Outfield remains deep for the Tayport Breakers. Caffrey taking a good 8 to 10 foot lead off second base.
I saw it, I was under it.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
Horn still behind in the count. One out, one on second. Top of the first. Pitch comes in, it's high, and it's a pop out into the glove of the catcher. Second out. Jack Vickerman comes out in the cleanup spot at 4. Jack also in 1 for 3 from last week.
I need to start lower rather than dipping.
Pitch bounces in the dirt off the plate, goes into the backstop. McCaffrey takes off from second into third. Wild pitch scoring there.
Time.
Everyone's going to one. Everyone's going to one.
McCaffrey now over at third base, 90 feet away from the first run, following a walk, the steal, and a wild pitch. Vickerman has a 1-0 count, 2 outs. Knights looking to make an impact with their first inning. Pitch comes in high. Second ball.
2 balls, no strike.
Brownie will be looking potentially just to get the ground ball here. Keep it in the infield and stop the run from scoring. But of course, solid out. It's a great hit and he's going high and long. It's not going to go for the fence. It's going to bounce just in front, rolls up the backstop. McCaffrey is comfortably in. 1 run scored on a single RBI from a high and long Jack Vickerman hit and swing going there. And we have the first on the board for the Edinburgh Knights. And the first hit into the bargain.
Time. Okay.
Catcher look to wall. Will be 5th in the order. First appearance this season for the Knights. Quickly stripping off the catcher's equipment. Nice bit of confidence there in the team. There again, it might just be the reverse psychology. I'll put them on because then it will make me come out because there will be a hit. 1 hit, 1 runner on first, 2 outs. Runner steals from first up to second. It's going to be on a ball. The steal started before the wild pitch went through. Jack Vickerman on a stolen base. Takes him up into second base and into scoring position. Second to reach there for the Knights. And ball comes down. The steal is on from second through the third. But a high pitch was swung on by the wall.
Trust me. There's something quite rough. Yeah? Yeah. I'm feeling it. So am I.
And with that fouled off back the contact, Vickerman's steal, unfortunately, gets wound back 90 feet.
1 ball, 1 strike.
And while it's there in the dirt, this time the wall does not make contact with the ball, and the steal is successful from Vickerman. Double stolen base after a single. Count goes 2-1 in favour of the wall and the Knights. Second runner on third base. Pitcher makes the decision, comes down, and that's just fouled into the backstop there to stay alive once more.
2 balls, 2 strikes.
If I get out, I'm throwing patches here in the record.
Go on, bring him in. Come on, Luke, bring him on.
3-2 count after that one there. One run ahead for the Knights. Their second run is sitting there on third base, if he can make it over the line. But there's a full count and 2 outs. And now it comes down to an outcome that is favourable to the Knights or favourable to the Breakers on a single pitch. And there's that pitch. And it puts the runners onto the corners with a walk for look the wall. Right fielder Patrick Hartley steps up now, actually down from Aberdeen.
Somebody just ready with catcher's helmet just in case he needs to warm up. He needs to get pads on, please. Thanks.
Patrick Hartley down from Aberdeen here, playing for the Knights. So it's going to be his first swing of this season's coming through as well. 6 in the running order. The steal is on. Duvall gets the legs going and gets himself up there. Starts to run as the ball heads out of the pitcher's mind into the ball and through to the backstop. And now runners in second and third scoring position for the Knights. 2 outs though, so the Breakers can take this away. And there's a low swing, bounces in the ground in front of there, picked up by the third baseman running over hard, throws over to first base. It's in time. Rough play for the third baseman to run in and scoop the ball up between home plate and third base. Takes the beat, throws over to first base, and Hartley thrown out on a 5-3 for the third out of the inning. That said, 1 run goes onto the board for the Edinburgh Knights. That comes from 1 hit as well. We had 2 left on base, no errors charged to the Breakers, and that's the top of the first inning. Edinburgh Knights 1 run up, and home team Breakers will be with us shortly. I'm Ewan Spence, you listen to Baseball Scotland, you're watching Baseball Scotland, and it's the start of the single A campaign for the Tayport Breakers, and it's the Knights defending a 1-0 lead in the league.
Not so active this year.
Ball's in, coming down. Okay, so Henry, you're covering Rafa, yeah?
And welcome back to the bottom of the first inning in this single A game between the Edinburgh Knights, who are visiting the Tayport Breakers. As we look out into the River Tay and the estuary, the balls are going to be flying, the bats are going to be swinging. BaseballScotland.co.uk to find out more, and the social media links as well. You'll find us also on Facebook, as you will also find groups for the teens. Facebook.com/BaseballScotland. Start off there, but also you've got Edinburgh Knights and the Tayport Breakers to look through as well. Your 1, 2, 3 coming up for the Breakers. There's pitcher Rennie, so we're going to start off with our immediate pitcher-pitcher matchup. Murphy, who is playing at the shortstop, and Jake Tuperka with second base. Defending for the Edinburgh Knights, you've looked at all catching for Ryan Mookie McFarlane. You've got James Horn on first base, Villarreal on second, Vickerman on third, Purcell at shortstop, and then from left to right, Elijah to the wall, Silverage, and Hartley has your outfield. Rennie steps up, and it'll be the first swing of the bat for the Tayport Breakers A in this season. And they open up. Leaning back out the way of the ball. Coming down fast, Route 1 high from McFarlane. Pitch decided. Then it comes in. Center high once more. Count goes 2-0. Really getting a favourable start to his first plate appearance of the year. And low in the dirt, 3-0. Lovely place to be for the opening in the batting order for the Breakers.
Ball.
Pitch comes in. Vertical is good, but the horizontal puts it out to the outside. And Breakers' first batter is going to be their first base runner on a 4-ball, 4-pitch walk.
Beautiful day for
And heads up to first base. Staying close to first base, but the steal will be considered, being only a very short lead. And that's a fast ball pitch that goes foul down the first base line. Shortstop Murphy at the plate for the Breakers. Breakers are 1 run behind, and they have a runner on first. No outs at the moment. And a strike there, hits the top of the zone. McFarlane 2 behind, and his first batter's now 2 ahead with the second.
Ball.
2-1 there, but the steal does go on. Rooney heads up to second base, puts himself into scoring position. Count goes 2-1. Count goes 2-2. Rennie is not taking a huge lead from second base. Of course, with no outs, the classic rule of thumb, do not get yourself out at third, will be sitting heavily on his mind. Pitch comes in low. Trapped by catcher DeWall. Stays at second. Full count. Let's knock on the door. Pitch comes in low and outside for a ball, hits the backstop, goes past the catcher, and Rennie takes himself off. Down to third base.
Look, when you're given signs, set up that way a little bit, and that knee's covering over, so it's hard
We
to
shall wait. There will be an official scoring decision at some point. At the moment, you're going to have to take an unofficial one here from the commentator, and that is going to go down as a wild pitch, moving Rennie over to third base.
Oh, I wish you were playing.
I'm trying to be like you.
Jay DeMarca, the second baseman for the Breakers, is third in the batting order. He's got runners at the corners, all there from walks. No outs at the moment. Runner goes first to second on the steal. It's a high ball, but a successful steal. 2 in scoring position. First base is open, no outs. Second and third are occupied. And there's a swing and a low ball that turns it into a strike, 1-1.
1 ball, 1 strike.
Breakers will be feeling a little bit of confidence here. Only 1 run behind, but a number of opportunities to score. His pitch offers another one, but it's a strike. It's a smooth swing from DeBurka. It just got so far underneath the ball.
1 ball, 2 strike.
And the count goes back into McFarlane's pitcher favor. Comes in for the inside. It's a hit pitch on the right thigh. Bases are loaded up. And our home plate umpire, Thomas Haywood, just making sure to take the heat out of the action there. Bases loaded. Billy Morrison, the DH, comes up to bat fourth. And he's a tasty situation in front of him here. Leans back with a good eye. Goes ahead in the count 1-0. Runners all paying attention, both for the hit and contact, but also third baseman will be considering if there's going to be another one coming in there. It's high and over the helmets from McFarlane. Morrison goes ahead 2-0.
Everything got a decent bit of polish, he's ready to go. Your right fielder knows I'm not left-handed, right?
And there's pickoff over at third base. And safe. Runners remain at the corners.
Ball.
Pitch comes in, ball to the outside. Count goes 3-0. McFarlane's walked 2. Hit by pitch on 1. Now behind in the count 3-0 with no outs. And an inside high strike, 3-1.
Let's go, Billy. Keep it up, Billy.
3 balls, 1 strike.
Hoop! Alright, Billy. Tough one, Billy. You're fine too, Billy. Let's go, Billy.
3-2 for the full count. Slider there from McFarlane, just catching Morrison off guard. Full count, pitch comes in, goes wide into the backstop, and that's another walk. 3 walks and a hit by pitch. Everybody moves around 90 feet, and William Rennie puts a run onto the board and equalising up. So 1 run to the Breakers, 1 run to the Knights. No hits yet for the Breakers. Third baseman Black now steps up. Continues a bases loaded situation. And that fastball contact is made and it goes out deep. A line drive out into the right field. 1 runner comes home. Second runner is going for that. Throw goes to the cutoff man. It goes past the pitcher into the glove of Jake DeWall, but he has to step off the base to get that. 2 more runs come in there. Murphy and DeBurka to give the Breakers a 3-1 lead. And a 2 RBI single there from Black.
Oh. Time. Thank you.
Thank
You alright?
I think it might be ours, Reuben.
Okay.
I was going to say, he's catching your ass.
Bottom of the first here, Breakers have opened up 2-run gap. Center fielder Oldham now. He's a runner at first. Second and third. Runner at second as well. No outs yet for the Breakers, but we are playing single A here at Baseball Scotland. It is literally just once through the order, so 10 plate appearances, and that will be the inning unless it's the final inning of the game. So we're not there yet.
Ball.
And that pitch comes in. On the ball. Bounces in the dirt into the backstop. Everybody stays where they are. Base runner wise though. First and second still occupied. Third is empty.
1 ball in strike.
Runner goes from second down to third.
Nice, Bell.
Wow.
Not you, me.
Black makes himself up to second on that wild pitch. Morrison credited with the steal.
2 balls, 1 strike.
2-1 for the count. 2 runners in scoring position. Pitch comes in high, goes 3-1. First base is open.
3 balls, 1 strike.
Knights outfield remains deep. Strike there, reaches the zone low and on the outside for a full count, 3-2. No outs yet for the Breakers. Halfway through the batting order so far. And the walk loads the bases up once more.
But also it's for eye protection. So if the dirt springs up, then it protects my eyes.
4 walks, 1 hit by pitch, 1 hit. No outs yet. 3 runs scored, 3 bases occupied for the Tayport Breakers single 18. McFarlane finds the outside of the zone once more for a strike. Catcher Ailish listen at the plate. Outside high for the strike. McFarlane finding the strike zone against Liston. And there's a swing as goes foul down the first base line. Count goes 2-0. Knights outfield still playing deep.
No balls, 2 strikes.
And pitch comes in high on the inside for a ball.
Good eye, Eilish. Good eye.
Yeah, just got me on the leg.
Good on you.
That's okay. I think my leg might be a little bit blue.
Hey, no, you did a good job.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Play. Ball.
2-2 for Liston. McFarlane looking for the outside there again. It's been a little bit too far. And a high loop pitch gets the strike.
Blue.
First strikeout of the game. Bases remain loaded. Eighth batter now being faced. It's first baseman Dale. Right now, in the first base, we have the Oldham occupying it for the Breakers. Black on second, Morrison on third. Wind just picking up a little bit. Weather is relatively breezy here. And a strike takes the count to 0-2 in favour of McFarlane. Pitch comes in slow. Fouled off into the backstop. Stays at 0-2. Bases still loaded. Breakers are up by 3-1 on the Knights. 5 innings game here unless duration is called. And it's a swing there. Drop third strike, but decides not to go for the run and the force at home as the base is loaded. So it is the second out of the inning. We go once through the order. This is our 9th batter. Whether we get to Heyman remains to be seen. It would need another run to come home. Voyna, the left fielder. 2 outs. Bases loaded. 2 runs ahead. 3-1 score. Pitch comes in low and successfully hits the bottom of the strike zone.
Ball.
Comes in for a ball.
1 ball, 1 strike.
Mishandled by catcher into the backstop. But everybody stays on the bases as they are. Pitch comes in, bounces in the dirt in front of the plates, into the backstop, but backstop here is relatively cooked, so not enough time or distance for Morrison to risk that run coming down from third with 2 outs. Count goes 2-1. Pitch bounces in the dirt on the outside of the zone again. 3-1 on the count.
3 balls, 1 strike.
Come to you.
And strike goes in to load up the count. 3-2. Pressure even higher now on pitcher Ryan McFarland. There are 2 outs. There are bases loaded. And it's a 3-2 count.
Ball.
Check swing.
Ball 4.
And it's a ball 4 issued for a walk. That brings in 1 more run as Morrison makes it back. I'll just do 1 second as requested. Umpire, 10th runner. Umpire.
10th runner.
10th batter. 10th batter.
10th batter. Okay. Keep on.
Black moves round to third base. Alder moves up to second. The walk to Voina. Keeps the bases loaded, but there is a 4th run now come in. As you heard there with the alert to the umpire, it is the 10th batter stepping up into the box. Single A. It's just once round the order. 10 plate appearances.
Ball.
So it's the last chance to have any damage done.
2 balls, no strike.
Although as it stands, 4 runs already on the board.
Ball.
It's a 3-0 count with another pitch into the dirt from McFarlane.
Give him anything, Keegan.
If you strike him out, Jack will give you a shoulder massage.
Pitch comes down.
Ball. Ball 4.
And that's ball 4 given, so that's a walk.
Yeah, you've got to go up to first. You've got to come round to the ball. Sorry, you must get
And got the rules. He has a walk, so he does. You still have to touch the bases as they go round. 1
Yes.
home plate is touched. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 runs on the board for the Tayport Breakers. That is only coming off 1 hit. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 walks given by Ryan McFarlane. 3 left on base. No errors charged to the Edinburgh Knights, but it is a commanding 5-1 lead after the first inning here on the shores of the Tay, close to Dundee at Tayport. I'm Ewan Spence. It's a 5-1 score to the home team, and the visitors will be up shortly after a rather long inning that saw the Breakers go right round the order. Up next, Silverage for Real and Elijah the Wall for the Knights.
Ready?
Top of the second here at Tayport as the Tayport Breakers single A welcome the Edinburgh Knights. It's a 5-1 lead to the home team, so 4 runs behind. And Silverage gets a... goes through. Ball makes contact with the bat. And it just rolls out there. It's a foul. And a first swing, first on base, unfortunately, has eluded Silverage. He falls behind in the count, 0-1. Pitch comes in. Contact made again. Fell back into the backstop.
No balls, 2 strikes.
For many of these players, certainly for all of the breakers, this is their first competitive game this year. Silver down from Aberdeen to play with the Knights. First appearance of the season as well. Pitch comes in high, slightly outside. Count goes 1 and 2.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
Breeze starts to blow in across third base to first base. Not a huge impact on play, I would think. And it's a strike out there. First strikeout for Rennie in the game.
One down.
Let's go, Rafa.
Which bag do I want?
Second baseman Villarreal.
Too big for you.
Yeah.
Too heavy.
Ball.
That's an inside ball, just missing a hit by pitch there. Lean back by Villarreal just to avoid contact with the ball.
So, you know, the bamboo ones, you can change direction a bit? Yeah.
You saw
Pitch
that.
comes
you
in,
saw
does
that.
find the inside there for the strike.
1 ball, 1 strike.
No, I like this one.
Pitch comes in high, center line, but high. Villarreal goes ahead 2 and 1.
2 balls, 1 strike.
Breakers outfield not playing as deep as the Knights. Relying on backward speed if the long high balls do turn up. That one there is going out to center left field, sort of midfield, caught by comfortably by center fielder Oldham for the second out of the top of this second innings. And we'll score down as an L8 on that one there. Elijah DeWall, left fielder for the Knights. Ninth in the roster. Third up in the second innings here for visitors.
Come on, Eli.
Pitch comes in inside for a ball. High and outside there, ball 2.
2 balls, no strike.
No runners in the inning yet. It's been 2 up, 2 down. DeWall looking to do some productive work for the Knights.
Got to be there, yeah? Your count.
You're on it now. You're on it. You're on it.
Pitch comes down inside high. The walk is taken. And the Edinburgh Knights have a runner on first base. Elijah DeWall, he does have a bit of speed on him, so we'll be watching for the steal on this one. 10th in the batting order is Captain Ryan Mookie McFarlane, who's paid slightly less than the other Mookie in baseball, but there we go. It's pitcher duel time. 2 outs, runner on first.
Come on, Mookie. Come on.
Knights are behind by 4. Captain looking to be productive here.
Ball.
And it's a ball that bounces in the dirt. After the bounce, the wall heads up to second base. Slight overrun, but gets his foot back on the bag. In any case, there's no throw being made up there.
Ball, no strike.
On the, Eli, on the pitch, take another shuffle step.
Dewall takes second base on a wild pitch. And it's a 1-0 count for McFarlane. Single runner scoring position. Pitch comes down. It's high.
Good eye now.
Knights looking to get a little bit more action in. Cut down that lead of 4 runs. And it's a wild pitch as well. Second and third goes to Wall. It's walk, wild pitch that's taken him to third base.
Let's go.
90 feet away from a score.
Send him home now. Drive him home.
There may be 2 outs, but consideration may well be made for a steal on home. Bottom inside on the zone, and it's a strike to go 3-1 for McFarlane.
3 balls, 1 strike.
3-1, scoring from third base would be tempting, but with 2 outs, you would have to be careful.
Boy.
Instead, we go for the corners. 1 and 3 are full with a walk there. Off of full for 3-1 count. The Knights return back to the top of the order. Shortstop Purcell ground out 4-3 in the first appearance in this game. The ball went from third base to first base to get him out. Now he's got his own runner at third and his own runner at first base. Runner goes first to second on the steal on the ball. Second and third bases, 2 in scoring positions. Stolen base for McFarlane.
Let's go, Henry! Woo!
First base is open. And there's a grounder, goes out. 0-3 run in third. Baseman leaves it for the shortstop to pick it up. He throws it off to first base. It's off target. So that goes wide.
Good job, Henry. Good running.
Which gives Purcell a single. And then with an out of bounds moves himself up to second base. Previously on second base, Ryan McFarlane brings himself down to third base on the play.
Japanese plate rush.
And then goes an out of bounds to bring him home.
Hello. A
But
legend walks
with
in.
an RBI, Ingle awarded to Purcell, brings Elijah DeWall home. The second run of the Knights. Third run goes to Ryan McFarlane, which puts them on 3. They've made up some of the gap. McCaffrey here drew a walk in the first appearance. Now he's fouled out of high into the stands down the first base line. If we had stands.
Ball take.
Never had somebody cheer from around one day.
They've got 1 runner in scoring position. Up on second base, Henry Purcell. Pitch comes down, bounces wildly, 45 feet away from the mound.
Cricket pitch.
And it is credited as a stolen base for Purcell to put him on third.
1 ball, 1 strike.
Still 2 outs. Those 2 outs are from the first 2 batters. Since then, another 4 have come up. The fourth being McCaffrey now. Leans back from that one to go ahead in the count 2-1.
Can I ask the count? Is it 2-2?
there's 2 strikes.
2 strikes?
I think it
Foul,
was
yeah,
2
2
strikes.
foul tip
Yeah.
and 1 into the
Oh,
right.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Sorry,
yeah.
yeah, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Cool.
Yep.
No, just checking.
Correct,
Like,
sir.
I'm pretty sure I've been here before.
Pitch comes down. It's top zone or high. It's being awarded as high for a full count. McCaffrey's second full count of the game. First inning that drew a walk.
What keeps in and going, Caitlin?
Runner on third as well. McCaffrey represents a tying run. Pitch comes in, bounces in the dirt.
What keeps it going? Well done.
And it's a second walk for McCaffrey. Corners are occupied now for the Knights. It remains 2 outs. It's the 7th batter to step up now. James Horn popped out to the pitcher in the first inning. Second inning now. He has runners in first and third. McCaffrey stole from first up to second. In the first inning, we'll be looking to do that again, but must be careful, 2 outs. So we'll need to have confidence in that decision. Confidence has been found. And second base is stolen. Took off with the pitch throwing, and catcher Ayless listened for the breakers deciding against the throw up. Sensibly, given that you do have a runner on third. Second, that would have left her glove, the run would have came home. Tying run is in second base. Run 4 is on third base.
Ball!
Pitch comes in outside for the ball, goes to the backstop. Consideration made by Purcell for the steal, but decided against as well.
1 ball, 1 strike.
There goes 1-on-1 for James Horn. Another pitch in the dirt there from Rennie. Comes in there and fouled into the backstop.
I know. I thought it was coming down. It didn't come down.
Horn there on our field, Mike.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
Picks up a fastball.
Yeah, you've got a bit of dust mask on the go.
Was expecting the slider.
Not blood mask. Pipe. Ball.
And ball low, bounces just in front of the plays. Count goes 2-2. Two outs. Bases second and third occupied by the Knights, who are behind by 2 runs. A 5-3 game at the moment in the bottom of the second.
Ball.
Pitch comes in high. Count is loaded. 3-2. Knock, knock, knock. First base is open. Vickerman is in the hole, who took a hit for the Knights in the first inning. But Horn needs to get on base for that to happen. And he scoops that ball up high. It is flying out into centre left field. Centre fielder is underneath it. Bounces off the ground. He picks that up, throws in, catches for the third baseman. It is a fielding fumble by the third baseman. But McCaffrey is comfortably there in time. Picks himself over to third base. Purcell does get himself home on that one. Cuts the deficit to 1 run. Horn gets himself a single RBI. We'll check the scoring.
He's got this rising swing.
It's an RBI double being awarded for Horn.
Ball.
8th batter for the Edinburgh Knights is Jack Vickerman. RBI single in his first at bat. Second at bat here, the Knights would quite like that to happen. The tying run is on third base. The go-ahead run is up on second. Pitch decision made, and it is swung up. It's a low, quiet line drive to the left fielder, who's not sure where to throw, where to cut off or throw to second base. He throws to second base instead, which gives Horn the time to bring the legs down. Line drive out from Vickerman out to the left field with a slight bit of mental indecision there from Foyna. Horn coming home, McCaffrey coming home comfortably on the hit. Horn on that little bit of decision making as well. Vickerman himself is going to take that as a double. It's only credited as an RBI, single RBI, double for there. But we now have a 1-1 lead for the Knights, and a steal as well as Vickerman looks to go from second to third, does that successfully. So the Breakers going from 2 outs for the first 2 batters, have then watched the next 5 batters come home. Vickerman's in position on third base, which would extend the run lead. Catcher looked to Wall, who did pick up a walk on his first appearance. Now there, looking for one more swing that will extend the lead.
2 balls, no strike.
So 1 runner on third, first and second are empty. 2-0 count for the Wall, who is the 9th batter in the second inning for the Knights. Goes for a swing on a low ball coming through the zone there. Takes the count to 2-1. Roberts only once round the order for 10. Both teams are playing with 10 here. DHs are allowed across all of the Baseball Scotland leagues. And the DH will also get to play, and the pitcher make an appearance as well for 10 in the order. It's a swing and a miss there for a 2-2 on the Wall. There are 2 outs with a runner on third. Pitch comes in. The Wall leans back from that one and lets it just go. Good eye, takes it to 3-2. It's a full count.
Really nice of you if you dropped it on the strike. I greatly appreciate that.
Barnabas has one. He ripped it out of the ground. That's how she ripped it. Yeah, right? I have to like get a jacket, not jacket, one of those massive like ice strokes.
Pitching decision made. It comes in. It was going for a ball potentially, but the swing is there. It's a strikeout swinging for the third out, and the Breakers finally managed to get the Knights off the field. It's their turn to have a long offensive run for the Knights. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 runs going on the board for a total of 6. 2 hits on the inning with 1 left on base. No errors charged to the Tayport Breakers. 6 runs on the board for the Knights, are visitors, against 5 runs on the board for home team Breakers. Breakers are going up to bat now for the bottom of the second. 1 run behind here, Baseball Scotland's Tayport Breakers opening day. I'm Ewan Spence, and we'll be back with you shortly. Welcome back to the bottom of the second inning here. It's the single A matchup as the Tayport Breakers start their league campaign, and the Edinburgh Knights defending a 1-0 lead in the league. So far, 5 runs on the board for home team, the Breakers. Single run scored by the Knights in the first inning, and then they dropped their own 5 spot as well. So, Breakers are 1 run behind as the pitch comes in. We're back to the top of the order, so it's Rennie, Murphy, and Burka from the first inning. We bat through 10 in the first 4 innings of a 5-inning game here in the single A, and after the 10th batter, that's just called for a halt here. We are Development League as well.
Of course. Nice to you, Get away with
And for those of you watching the umpire lineup, we've Thomas Haywood is now joined down by first base umpires Wolfie. He's a bit like Madonna. It's just Wolfie. There's no surname there. He's forgotten more of Baseball Scotland than, well, everybody else here as we go through. Rennie is ahead in the count there and swings that ball going down.
Oh!
Foul line on the first base line.
I don't expect you to run down and get it.
2-2 in the count.
Seems like Tayport can jump.
Rennie drew a walk in his first appearance in the game, and of course that was a pitcher-pitcher matchup, which we have here again once more. Strike in the outside. Looking strike and first out for the Knights.
Warmer in the catcher's crew, I'll tell you that much.
Oh, yeah.
Took them 7 batters to get through for their strikeout for the first out, which was a strikeout in the first inning. First appearance in the second inning as McFarlane, his third strike.
I once started off in Hull starting to umpire and then realised I had no cup and I thought, bring me naked.
Oh, I forgot mine. I had the strap, like I have the folder over here.
You got it, Dan. You got it.
I called time and I said, the game's not progressing until I go to the car and get my cup. I've got the power, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Safety first.
Exactly. I don't want to take new balls, please.
Murphy at the plate now, drew a walk in the first inning. And that pitch comes in high. One of those balls that looks more like a penalty for the goalkeeper rather than a pitch for a catcher there. Murphy can draw a walk on this pitch. Murphy does draw a walk on that pitch. 2 plate appearances, 2 walks, and the first runner for the Knights in this frame.
Oh, good man.
I'm having flashbacks.
I mean, you're doing great.
DeMarcus steps up, went behind in the count 1-2 before a hit by pitch in the first inning. Put him onto base. Runner goes from second, Murphy goes for the steal. It's on the strike. So it's a strike and a steal. Runner in scoring position, up at second base, and that represents a tying run. Oh, pickoff attempt is being made at second base. The throw was off target, and it would have been in time as well.
Yeah.
I was far off there.
And by off target, mostly because shortstop was too far away from the bag. So into the glove comfortable with the shortstop. And then a tiny, tiny, tiny equivalent of a rundown. And a ball inside there.
Breathe, Jake. Breathe.
It's not a purpose.
One ball, one strike.
If you can do it, I mean,
Give us a 1-on-1 count. And we'll just check the levels in the microphone. Yeah, we seem to be okay there. And there's a solid hit. It's going out into deep right field. It's high, drops just in front of the catch. So we do have a single going through there. Hartley just makes sure that the ball doesn't go any further. Lets it bounce just in front of him. Barker takes a single on that one. Murphy moves himself down to third base. Runners at the corners. Just the second hit in the game for the Breakers. Morrison DH steps up now. Also drew a walk in that first frame.
the sun. It only appears like twice a year here.
most inconvenient time to do it.
Yeah, when you're batting.
And for the most ginger person we've got in the team as well.
Runner goes from first.
Ball.
Catcher decides to just smother that ball with the runner at third. Sensible decision. But it does put two runners into scoring position. Murphy at third, De Burke at second.
Watching Jake.
And throw over the third base just to keep everybody honest.
No step in direction toward the base which you're throwing.
Sorry. Wait. If my right foot comes off.
No. You are still in. No. I had to engage the rubber. So I don't have a wooden stop.
So Bulk has been awarded by home plate umpire.
You step off
Someone say it?
and not have step in directions, but at the time I saw no step and I saw no disengagement.
Bulk ordered for no disengagement before the
There you go, Dan. I got
throw
it
over to third base.
Is that an RBI?
Bulk is awarded, and that bulk was to the tying run. So it's a 6-all game.
Hi.
De Burke also takes himself from second down to third. So
Ball.
go ahead is on third base.
Watching. Hey, way to stay strong there, people. Saturday night television. Good watching.
Go, Billy.
Ball.
Nice, Billy.
Ball.
Let's go. Let's go 2-6. It's not an easy life, is it? Down there.
Well, someone's got to do it.
Runner goes from first.
Oh, yeah.
Go,
Go, go!
And with that, Jake De Burke brings himself home to put the Knights ahead. Morrison takes himself over to third base.
Come on, Cammy. Billy's waiting to come home.
You right? Okay.
Go, Kelly. Very functional hitter. Good.
Runner goes from first up to second, steers on. While Pitts puts it into the backstop, so it's a comfortable walk up to second for Black.
And the backstop was very close to play.
Black in a 2-for-2 game now. He puts himself into scoring position at second. Morrison at third.
There are some backstops out on fields of play where it's good 4 times, not 5 times. Yeah.
Here's Glasgow that has them.
Is it? Glasgow's not. No, Glasgow's only double. Ball.
Good eye, Cammy.
3 balls, no strikes.
Good job, Cammy.
Well done.
And that's the walk taken there. 2 plate appearances, 2 walks for Oldham. Loads the bases again.
That's Billy over there.
The older one first. Black on second. Morrison on third.
Yeah.
Pitching change.
Caitlin, change.
Oh, no,
Straight
Jack's
swap
keeping
me
on
and
the ball.
Jack.
So that's McFarlane who's going to be coming out.
Okay, I'll give you a bit of usually the way I do is I'll give a warning to educate.
Yeah, please.
Thereafter, thereafter inform. Yeah, if it's his first time, I understand.
I was like, I know it's not. I don't know when he was cold. What's happening? Right, yeah. Yeah, because that's what I was like, wait, hang on.
And your defensive change there is Jack Rickerman moves from third base into pitch. And his first pitching appearance of the season. Ryan McFarlane will move over from the pitcher's mound over to third base. So it's just a direct swap over there for those of you keeping track. Right now, McFarlane is on the hook for the loss.
Pitcher told me it's his first ever time to pitch.
I think they've backed up.
You're going to have a bit of leeway.
Just relax, Jack. Just do it like it's a bullpen. That's well, this is what we're doing. That's what we're talking about right now. I think because that's supposed to be Jake's team, right?
Give him a bit of leeway.
I think they fucked it up. That's Billy on third. I wonder if then it was a.
Right.
I don't think
Set.
it was Jake. Scott was the first.
Let's do it.
Yeah, I think that's the problem.
You go, Ellis. Let's go.
We got Jake coming in. Yeah, so they're letting Jake there. Yeah.
Chill, wait.
Go, Jack!
Hi.
Thank you. Yeah, I think it's just.
Doing the opposite of what I did last time.
Ball.
The delights of working through the scoring here in Baseball Scotland. And our scorers and commentator just leaning in there. Catriel Lichten is at the plate and first to
Two
face
balls, one strike.
the new batter, Jack Vickerman. Vickerman's first, not only Vickerman's first pitching appearance in the season, it's his first pitching in the league all told.
Three balls, one strike.
Bases are loaded, first, second and third all occupied. Vickerman's first pitching gives him a full count.
Go, Jack! Woo!
Knights are 2 runs behind, it's a 7-5 game. It's an 8-5 game with that walk as everybody moves around 90 feet.
You want me to brush it, just say so.
Nah, it's fine. Beautiful, beautiful.
Tiny as a baby, this baby's bubble. My hands are just built in brushes. Right.
Up now is first baseman Dale, struck out in the first inning.
Thomas!
It's a strike, drop, third strike, but then tagged out of the plate by the
Your feet,
catcher.
you can have it. You alright? Or do I need to lift you by the arm? Right. Ball.
Pitch comes in outside and into the dirt low.
Ball.
Nice, Jordan. Good eye, bud. We stay disciplined.
Comes in high there as well.
That's right. You got this, Jack. Nice and easy, buddy. Ball.
Nice, Jordan. Well played.
And
All
fourth
right,
ball is drawn. And not only is it a walk for Dale, but it's also walking in black as well from third. Bases remain loaded.
Yeah, in time.
4 runs on the board. 9th batter coming up.
You got to have a chat to settle him.
And just a mound visit from the rest of the Knights. As Rickerman settles in after 2 walks coming through.
That's my 2-second break. That is creaking and cracking and
And strike zone found on that one there. Goes ahead in the count. Oh, no one. Break him in. Boyner drew a walk previously off a full count. Goes behind, down 2 strikes. And there's a clean bang, bang, bang. Strikeout there. 2 outs. All on strikeouts in this inning. And it's the 10th batter here at Hindman.
10th batter.
4 strikes in a row for Rickerman. Count goes 1-1. Ball on that one there. So a reminder, we just go for 10 batters in an inning here at Single A, unless it's the final inning. So this will be the last piece of action for the Tayport Breakers. And the second inning, whether that goes for another run coming in, a larger swing to bring more, or the Knights hold it to an 8-5 game, we're going to know very, very shortly. Eamon finished out the last inning with a walk. This time it's a strikeout though. 2 walks and 2 strikeouts for Vickerman in the bottom of the second. The strikeout goes to Ryan McFarlane, but there are 4 runs on the board there. That comes off 2 hits. No errors have been charged to the Tayport Breakers with 2 left on base. It's 9 runs to the Tayport Breakers against the 5 runs to the 6 runs to the visiting Knights. I'm Ewan Spence. 3rd inning of 5 is coming up shortly.
Jackson is happy to go back out. And then I said to him, you just shout when you're. Yeah, he said you just shout when you're.
Welcome back to the top of the 3rd inning here of 5 here in Baseball Scotland's Single A League. Edinburgh Knights on 6 runs, chasing 9 from the Tayport Breakers. Up first is Patrick Harley, who's down from Aberdeen to get his time in with the Edinburgh Knights Development League here. If you're interested in playing along as well, then come see us, baseballscotland.co.uk, or find us facebook.com/baseballscotland. We'll get you in touch with your local team and deal with everything else there. Pitch comes down, ball is in the dirt. Out there. Pitch comes in high. 4th ball. Round out 5-3 first appearance. Second appearance is a walk for Hartley. Puts himself on to first base. Tying run is on deck. At the plate just now is Divash Selvaraj, also down from Aberdeen. Runner goes from first up to second. Contact is made on the bat though, goes over to third baseman. Third baseman decides to throw for first. It's high and goes out of bounds as well. Patrick Hartley took the steal up to second and now gets the advance to third base on and out of bounds. Selvaraj takes a single on that one as well and awarded second. Also on the out of bounds throw as well. 2 into scoring position. Tying run comes up to the plate. That's Villarreal. Line drive out into centre field in the first plate appearance off a 2-1 count.
I thought they maybe got it.
No, he's looking. It's in the rough somewhere in there.
Tying run at the plate. First base is open. Strike one. And we're a developmental league in the commentary as well, so maybe we'll get some different voices coming in for you shortly. But for now, I'm Ewan Spence. Thanks for joining us here. Inside low, in for the strike. You're watching this on YouTube. Some of our games are pre-recorded and uploaded during the week. So thank you all for joining there. You will get score displays and graphics and all of that coming up between innings. We're streaming live as well. Just do keep an eye on our page, youtube.com, search for Baseball Scotland. Pitch comes down and it's swung. It's a pop-up but falls in between second base and pitching mound. But it's a nice gentle toss over from second baseman to first. So Villarreal goes on a sacrifice, not very high fly, but sacrifice him. Oh, we'll give him the sack on that one, shall we, for the first out? But the run comes in as well. Patrick Hartley puts himself onto the board. Cuts the lead to 2. 9-7 to the Breakers, who still have a 1 in scoring position on second base. Elijah DeWall took a walk in second inning for his first appearance. Ball's coming in high, but makes the decision to swing and miss on that one there. To go behind in the count, 0-1. High pitch still there. DeWall just keeping the bat by his side on that one though for 1-1. Goes ahead in the count after that low pitch, 2-1.
Balls, one strike.
Ball on the inside. 3-1 goes the count.
3 balls, 1 strike.
Would have been 4 if you didn't swing the first one, but anyway, carry on. Let's go, Eli.
Now that's picked up by the field, Mike. I don't have to say it.
Perfect there, don't worry about it.
And steps back to do the swing of the ball. It goes foul though into the Tayport Breakers home team bench. It's a step back out the box to get his hands on the inside of that pitch. Certainly enough to throw your balance off. And goes for a 3-2 count. Drew a walk last time when he hit 3 and 2. And there's the 4th ball and a walk. And time called at the mound. Question now is with just the one out. Yeah, Randy is going to stay in.
Yep.
Kevin Mickey McFarlane drew a walk in his first appearance. He's got runners on first and second with one out. And strike comes in, finds the outside zone. That said, Silverarch goes for the steal successfully. Liston pops up to throw the ball from home plate over to third base, but not in time. Only fractionally, though.
Not my call.
A home run to like right center field would be excellent.
Credited with a stolen base on that one. Runners at the corners.
If he hits it like bare hit to like center, then it'll curve.
Ball comes down into the backstop at that point. The Wally's going to go and head up to second base. Glances over, going for a passed ball.
Caitlin, Jack shouting at you.
Pitch comes down low inside, strike two.
You wouldn't know it.
No, sorry. I'm giving the bad.
Run away, yeah, smart
I
running.
don't know why I looked.
McFarlane checking if it's one out or two. He'll be thinking about the sacrifice. Pitch comes down, decides to chop that down third baseline, foul.
You alright?
I am fine. My socks are fine. I'm free.
First base is open, runners on second and third. 9-7 ball game.
Just hold on to it.
One more, 2 strikes.
Pitch in again. Mookie decides to take that. It flies up. It is a running back from the center field. He goes for the catch. Goes over his head. A little bit of indecision in the base running. Nevertheless, Severards comfortably gets home on what was a considered sac fly, but instead becomes a single from McFarlane. Elijah DeWall does take himself over to third. Potentially an option to run down as well.
It wasn't caught at all.
It wasn't caught.
It wasn't caught, it was on the bounce.
No. He didn't tag up. He didn't tag up before it left.
It wasn't a catch.
It doesn't matter.
He was in the middle. He was in the middle of the thing. He didn't catch up.
Well, let him deal with it.
No.
Sorry, Thomas, can I?
Yeah, time. So on my, right. He left early.
But the ball wasn't caught.
I know the ball wasn't caught, but he should have waited until why?
I don't understand that. If the ball hits the ground, he doesn't have to do it. He doesn't have to tag, no?
But he was already
But then that just means that if it was caught, he would have to go back. So he's running on the fly ball.
Yeah, sorry. I like. Steve!
I
Sorry.
thought he did catch it.
Yeah.
What I'm
Yeah.
saying.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just umpire. Yeah. Thank you. Sorry, I'm having brain fart.
Not for me to say. Unless you ask.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. It's a really tough idea.
Just a little check-in with the captains and umpires. And we got a scoring, well, it's the unofficial scoring decision as well. McFarlane is credited with a single RBI.
One down.
One more on the board. Tying run is at third base with DeWall. McFarlane's on the corners, but he's decided to go for the steal. And that's a comfortable steal up to second to put two runners into scoring position. We're back at the top of the order. Yourselves a ground out and a hit previously. Ball comes down in front. Home plate. Still just the one out for the Knights here in the top of the third. And there's a solid hit into centre left field. Drops in the gap as well. The wall tags up to come home. McFarlane goes over to third base. Sell takes his second hit and his second RBI single of the game. DeWall makes himself home. He's a tying run, which gives us a 9-0 ball game. McFarlane keeps himself in scoring position, but now 90 feet closer to home at third base. Runners are on the corners. Just the one out. McCaffrey's walk on the first two plate appearances. Runner goes from first on the steal. Catcher just eats that one there. Scottish two-step single to get on the first, steal to get up into second. The purest form there is. That's ball on the inside. Caffrey leans out the way on that one.
I'm sick of walking. I know you are.
Two balls, no strike.
First base is now open. One away. Swing and a miss on a low ball there.
Two balls, one strike.
Yes, I know, but I shouldn't have swung at that. That wasn't a thing, that's the problem.
Pitch comes in and it's hit low and hard. Line drive out deep into left field. Picked up by a left fielder who just waits and doesn't take that for a cut-off throw. And that brings two runs home for a double RBI single. And then McCaffrey decides to go up to second on the play as well. It's a double RBI single for McCaffrey. It's a two-run lead there taken by the Knights for another 5-spot inning. James Hearn, RBI double. Previous appearance before that, it was a pop out to the pitcher. But the Knights taking themselves into a two-run lead. First time they've taken the lead in this game.
Come on, James.
Ball goes to the inside there for Horn.
Three balls, no strike.
You got this, Jim. Come on.
you're swinging at strikes, you're just swinging above them or underneath them. Look away. Yeah.
3-0 count for Horn, runner on second. Knights up 2 runs here in the top of the third. Wild pitch to the backstop. McCaffrey takes over to third base. The walk is awarded. McCaffrey takes that on a steal.
Am I last batter?
Is this last batter?
Am I last batter?
One more.
Ninth,
One more, three.
ninth batter, Vickerman.
Ninth batter.
This last batter?
9.
No. 9, okay.
And the steal is taken there as Horn moves up to second base, 2 in scoring position. Ball comes in high there. Vickerman has singled and doubled in the game already. It's his 3rd appearance. Pitch comes in and that's scooped up high and out foul over the first baseline stands.
Send the breaking glass.
Come on, Jack, you got this.
One more, 1 strike. No, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Right.
That pitch goes into the dirt.
2 balls, 2 strikes.
Pitch comes down. Bounces about 20 feet in front of home plate and wild pitch again. But no decision to steal home yet. Runners second and third. First base is open. Count goes full at 3-2. Knock, knock, knock. Let's see what's going to happen. Pitching decision made. In it comes.
Ball.
And that's a ball for a walk.
Last batter.
Catches the last batter.
Luke Duvall has a walk in his first plate appearance. Strikeout in his second appearance. And as the 10th batter, this will be the last batter up for the Knights here at the top of the third. They put up a 5 spot, so it's 11-9 in their favor. And chopped into foul there. Bases are loaded. Just the 1 out. The last batter. Do you have to watch? Still have to watch the out count. See who comes home in time. That bounces in front for a ball. High ball.
That's way too short for you. It's like a toothpick in your hand.
But like,
Yeah. He was waving a wand earlier.
Batting exchange made.
3 of them fit you.
Luke Duvall looking for a bat that matches the length of his legs. He's finally got one.
Well, he's about a third of the bat longer now.
I like my short bats.
Come on, Luke.
We don't do torpedo bats here in the Scottish League, but sometimes we do what appears to be a telescopic bat. Bases loaded. Pitch comes in. Swing on that one there.
31 as well.
Decisions whether or not to run for home. The decision was went is against. Count is 2-2 on the last batter.
I would step out the way in case there's a steal.
Come on, Luke. Hey, full count going on the pitch. Oh no, it's not full count. 2-2. 2-2, not on the pitch, please. Falk.
Check throw over from pitch to the third base, remembering to clearly signal a disengagement. Slightly over-exaggerated movement there. Leaving off one side, taking the second. Runners are going. And that's a force out. Force out. Just
James, get back. It's three balls. It's three balls though. That was a ball. So it's 3 and 2. It's full count. No, we shouted. No, it's not.
a little bit of confusion in the terms of the Knights. It was a 2-2 count, and McCaffrey attempted to go for the steal, but tagged out at home for the second out. Count is now full at 3-2. Runners are at second and third as everybody else moves up. Horn moves up as well. Vickerman also moves up on the stolen base. So it's a full count on the last batter with 2 runners in scoring position. First base being open doesn't mean anything, but DeWoe pops that up over the back of the stop. Manages to avoid the quite comfortably avoiding the commentary booth, but not by much. Trust me, I cannot catch the ball. You would see me diving away, okay? Last batter with 2 outs. Remember I said you had to watch the out count? That was why. Steal of home was unsuccessful. First base is open. Runners second and third. 2-run lead so far for the Knights. They'd like to go just a little bit higher. And there's a swing and a miss. As we go for the third strikeout.
Ball scuffed up, so I don't know if you still want to keep using it, though. That's the game that went foul.
No, that's a done.
10th batter is there. So it's a 5-spot put up for the Knights for a total of 11 runs, plays 9. And just keep you right on that one. We'll go over that one again. It's a 5-spot put up for the Knights in that inning for a total of 11 runs. That is coming off 4 hits. 3 runners were left on base. No errors were charged to the Tayport Breakers. It's an 11-9 game as we go into the bottom of the third. We will be watching the time count on this one as well. So we'll just be checking if we're going to have time called at 3. 3 hours. We are getting rather close to that at the moment. But as Ewan Spence here for Baseball Scotland, it's an 11-9 game going into the bottom of the third. Breakers 2 runs behind. We'll be back with you shortly.
I don't know, we might just stretch him out of the rack.
I've done that in positions before. It's not fun.
Welcome back, and we open up the bottom of the third with a strike thrown by Vickerman. We're back to the top of the order, so it's Rennie, Murphy and Burka for the Tayport Breakers. Rennie now going behind in the strike 2 and 2. A walk and a strikeout in his previous 2 appearances. It's a tiny chopper that goes in front of first base. Pitcher Vickerman comes down to pick that up, and it's a laser throw over to James Horn on first base for the first out. 1-3 to open up the bottom of the third. Breakers are 2 runs behind.
Where's home for you originally? I'm from Canada. All right. What about Nova Scotia? Oh, nice. Yeah, it's the middle of nowhere. So what brings you out to here?
My dad's studying ministry.
All right.
So I got dragged out.
So you come out to older school. Scotia, huh?
Yeah.
Old Scotia.
Yeah.
One away. Murphy does a solid hit on that one, going out, foul. That's a distance to go into the right outfield. That counts goals not on one, back in favour of Ickerman. Pitch comes in and that's hit, line drive out into right field. And there's not going to make it back in time to first base for the ball, so Murphy gets himself a single. And the Breakers not only have a runner on base, but bring the tying run up to the plate in Edinburgh. Here's a hit by pitch and a single so far in the game.
Yeah.
Partly fielding that out in right field on a smart line drive. Deciding against throwing that back in. And just because of that, holding Murphy to first base. Just a single there.
Time.
Fast pitch coming in there.
I was not ready. No pitch.
He's got like, wait a second.
No pitch. Be aware, if it's a quick pitch with a runner on base, it's a balk. Okay? So be aware, make sure everyone's ready.
Vickerman's first game as a pitcher. Just getting a reminder that quick pitching, well, you heard there, quick pitching would result in a balk. The steal is on from first up to second, even though it's on the strike. Murphy takes himself up to second base and into scoring position. Jake DeBurka still represents the tying run at the plate with one away for the Tayport Breakers. And that is hit high and long from DeBurka into centre field. Drops in the gap. Tang up goes from second down to third, just making himself sure. Could have taken off the lead, but we get a single there from Jake DeBurka and gets his runner Murphy over to third base as well as they put them onto the corners. High long drive into centre right field. With the Knights playing incredibly deep, couldn't run in time. And drops onto the ground. And picked up and just into the cutoff man. Go ahead run now appears at the plate in Morrison with a walk and a walk on the scorecard already. Jake DeBurka threatening to do the steal, goes for the steal on a strike thrown. And up to second base there as well. Runners second and third. 2 hits, 2 steals, 3 steals. With Murphy moving over. Murphy not moving over, but Murphy running down now off that hit, takes himself into home plate. There's one home. Second goes over to third base. And we have a single RBI for Morrison coming through that one as well. 2-run deficit, cut to 1 run, 11 plays 10. Breakers behind by 1. Home field advantage, of course. Black steps up, 2 appearances, 2 singles already in the game. 1 away runners on corners. The steal's going to put on from first base up to second. And it's successful for Morrison to hit 2 into scoring position. First base is now open for Black. Pitch comes down, popped up high over the backstop. And smart line drive goes straight into the glove of the second baseman there. Laurel taking that one nicely. runners remain second and third. First base stays open. And there's a grounder, goes up into the second baseman gap as well. Gathered up, thrown down to first base, and there's the out at first base for 3 after a line drive. Second baseman for the second out. Third out goes from second baseman over to first. It is just the 1 run for the Tayport Breakers on that one. Coming off a 3-hit inning as well. They leave 2 on base, no errors charged to the Edinburgh Knights, who retain a 1-run lead at 11-10 as we head into the 4th inning here at the single A game. Tayport Breakers opening up their campaign by welcoming the Edinburgh Knights. Mac Shark. Top of the 4th, we restart the quarter. Bash, give me a voice.
How are we? We good?
Oh, we are good there. So, while we do commentary, we're also training up our callers as well. So I'm going to step back and let Bash take over and just pop in with the occasional moments.
Opening pitch of the inning here is a ball. I'm going to settle in now. The wind up. There we go. 1-1. Pitcher looks in, gets his call.
Ball!
Ball 2.
Make sure you drop that bat out of the way. If it hits the bat, it counts.
Okay.
Yeah, I've had it before when it hit the bat and it's bounced in.
Okay, we're 2-1 right now. 2 balls, 1 strike. That's going to be outside for ball 3.
3 balls, 1 strike.
Patrick, only if you want it, only if you want it.
Pitcher looks in.
Ball. Good eye, good eye.
Ball 4.
Way to get on.
There's no drop.
Couple close ones there. New bars up, we got a fresh count. Runner going to second on a ball anyway. Runner safe at second. One ball, no strikes. Pitcher looks in.
Oh, sorry, he's hitting behind the back.
And we're going with another steal to third. Advances to third on the ball. 2 balls, no strikes.
Two balls, no strikes. Ball.
Ball 3.
Has to be there, yeah?
3 balls, no strikes.
This is bottom 4. No, this is top 4.
Say bottom. I didn't know we were home field.
Wind up. That's going to be ball 4. The bar takes his base. We've got runners on first and third now. No outs.
Eli, it's Rafa.
Oh shit!
You're after, you're after.
I didn't see him on deck. He was hiding.
I'd like not to have to deal with batting down.
I didn't see him on deck. He was just hiding around. So I was like, I guess I'm on deck.
Has to be there, Rafa.
Yeah, right.
Talk to him, James.
Runner on first. Advances to second on the ball. Safe. Got runners at third and second now. 1 ball, no strikes. Here's the wind up. That is a foul. Big hack. Foul ball. Counts 1-1.
1 ball, 1 strike.
Here's the wind up. Foul ball.
No, you're good, Patrick.
Just foul.
Jack, tell him to take his
We
lead
got a
that
count
way.
of 1 ball, 2 strikes.
I'll head out there. Yes, please, Reuben, thank you.
Still runners on second and third. No outs.
One ball, 2 strikes.
Batter caught it well, but just crap foul.
Yes. Tag, big guys, back. Stay.
Shortstop makes the catch. Shallow. Runners are still on second or third. No movement.
Okay, now it's my turn.
1 out.
Now it's you.
I feel like I was here just a few seconds ago.
Well, you know, we'd like a double at that.
Nothing wrong
We'll
with
pop
that,
up to second base. I've got a lefty up now. That's going to be a ball outside.
You're in 2 batters time.
1 ball, no strikes. Runners on second and third. We've got 1 out.
Has to be there, Eli, yeah?
Big swing. Catcher drops, but we'll take a strike with it.
Saw it.
Long enough
I
back.
saw it.
In you go.
Counts to 1 and 1.
Saw it.
He wanted that one again. Big swing. 1 and 1. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be outside. Counts 2 and 1.
Did you know that we started at 11? Did you know that we started?
Big swing again. Gets past the catcher, but there's no movement from runners. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Oh no, I'm just swinging things outside.
2 balls, 2 strikes.
short.
Come on, Eli. In the box, please. In the box.
Don't blame the bat.
Just get on base.
Don't be silly.
2 and 2.
2-2.
Good eye.
Ball. 3 and 2. Good pitch, just a little high.
Eli,
Full count now.
relax. Let it come to you.
Run.
Go!
Count 3, the catcher dropped it.
Run through.
They're going to advance to first on the dropped. Called strike 3. Bases are loaded. Got 1 out. Now is Mookie up to bat.
Come on, Mookie.
Go!
1 out. Bases
Right now would
loaded.
be an excellent time for a grand slam. Just saying.
Here's a pitch.
Ball.
Outside. One ball, no strikes.
This is a really bad time.
Here's a pitch. Ball 2. Ball inside.
It does. It's like a heat seeker.
2 balls, no strikes. Ball 3, just outside.
Anything on the ground, you have to run. You're home on anything on the ground. 3.
Are the bases loaded?
3 balls, no strikes.
Wonderful.
There's a guy there.
Ball outside. That's going to draw a walk. It's going to bring in a run. Bases are still loaded with 1 out.
Time.
Umpire's calling time.
Sorry. That was my fault, not yours.
So we've got a fresh batter up now. 1 run scored. Bases still loaded. 1 out. Good contact. It goes over the shortstop. Centre fielder comes in. 1 run scored. The rest all move on. Advance next base. Bases still loaded. 1 run scored with that hit. Nice solid contact outfield. Still just 1 out. Bases loaded. New batter's up. Here's a pitch. Big strike there.
Yeah, I
Call
know,
strike.
right?
It's almost like a softball pitch.
You're about to see me pitching. Yes.
No, I'm not saying about the curve. The curve it's produced.
That's going to be outside. That's the catcher. Runners don't advance.
Somewhat similarly to this, and they always moan at me at training because they think that they can hit it and then it immediately drops out and you're going, oh, wait, hang on. Yeah.
1 and 1.
One ball and strike. Ball.
Just outside. Ball.
This must be a
2
lot
balls on strike.
more fun to catch.
Bases still loaded.
The umpire is a headache.
It's I'm sure.
I'm not about reaching mile an hour.
Yeah, straight down the middle.
Runner on first takes his lead.
Ball.
Ball 3.
Like I called Austria Ireland last year.
All high.
He's down on it.
3 balls on strike.
Well, you're gonna see Ethan Dyke and Avon pitching today, and they're gonna.
3 balls and strike.
Here's a pitch. It's going to be a ball again. Another run scores. Bases still loaded. Brings runner from third. Still just 1 out.
I don't know what that was, to be honest.
I don't know, I think he was trying to fly, was he?
New batter up. Here's a pitch. There you go. Good pitch. Strike just on the outside of the plate. No balls on strike. Big swing again. Catcher drops it.
Yeah.
No movement though.
Terrible, I know.
No balls, 2 strikes.
Sorry.
No ball, 2 strikes.
Here's a pitch.
Ball.
That's a ball. High. Bar ducks away a little bit.
Danger is that the batter's up there and the ball hits the bat.
1 ball and 2 strikes. Base is still loaded.
Live ball.
Here's a pitch. That's going to be high and outside. Evens the count, 2 and 2.
2-2.
On the knees that time of day.
Oh yeah, I'm a former catcher.
Here's a pitch now. Big strike. Catcher was on it. Strike 3. 2 outs. Runner from third advances to home. It's thrown out at home. Wow. Should have held up on third base there. So 2 runs are scored. 3 runs are scored, sorry.
No, because the thing.
It's all right, Bash. I've got a counter there on there. Right then, we'll run down the board on that one. 1, 2, 3 runs go on the board, which takes the Edinburgh Knights to 13 runs. Plays 10 for the Tayport Breakers. That comes off just a single hit in that there. 2 left on base. No errors charged to the Breakers. Bash, thanks for doing the calling there. As you said, their development league both here behind the microphone. But do you want to take a moment to talk about the podcast?
Yeah, we have John McKellar on this week on Tuesday. I think it's 9 o'clock. If you want to check the Facebook page, you'll double check and make sure. I'm sure it's 9 o'clock though. We've got John on, ex-host, and a founding member of Ball Caps and Bagpipes, so looking forward to that one. It'll be a good one. And the start of the season, it's good to be back.
It is. Bash, thanks for popping into the booth.
Thanks, bud, appreciate it.
Speak soon. And thanks go there to Bash for calling the top of the fourth there. The more voices we can get on here, the more games we can bring you on YouTube, both live with the stream and pre-recorded, as well as we try to bring you as much baseball from Scotland as we can this year. Right then, we go into the bottom of the fourth. The Tayport Breakers single A teams are sitting at 10 runs at the moment, and they are chasing significantly bigger spot there with 5, 10, 11, 14 runs on the board for the Edinburgh Knights.
I suspect this will last 20 minutes. It's half inning, in which case then the game will be done 2 hours 40.
It is a 3-hour game with no more innings at 2 hours 40. For those of you keeping track, that is in 20 minutes. And for those of you just wondering what happens if we hit that time, well, there's no more half innings. It's unlikely we would have to roll back. That said, if we were to roll back, 10 plays 11, it would still be the game to the Knights. So, Breakers up against it with a new pitcher, Caitlin McCaffrey on the mound. Catcher Liston, Dale, and then Woods is coming up for our first plate appearance as well. It's your 1, 2, 3 in the bottom of the fourth.
I don't think that's true. What about me?
Edinburgh Knights on 14 runs, 4 ahead of the Breakers. Given time game, Breakers will need to put 4 or 5 on the board here. And there's a solid hit over second base into shallow center field. Liston is heading up to first base. And it is an out of bounds throw from center field over to first base. Farley now manning first base, not able to stop that in time. Liston takes a single to put herself on base, takes an extra base on an out of bounds throw. Which will... We can't see who actually threw that one, but that is probably going to be marked down as an error on the Knights. Caffrey pitches in as well. Line drive goes up to second baseman. Touches second bag. Throws over to first. Throws in time to first. Runner advances from second through to third base. Liston puts herself 90 feet away from home on the play. But Dale goes out on a 4-3. Wood steps up to the plate, substituting in for Voina. It's his first plate appearance. Gaffrey defending a 4-run lead. Sliding strike. Gaffrey, no, not for the pitching speed, but bringing the ground balls in. That one there is a ball though, so it's not going to fall in time. Count goes 1-1.
Very nice.
Pitch comes in hard. It's swung on and missed. Count goes 1-2.
2 strike.
Pitch comes in high, and that's struck down the first base line, foul. Count remains 1-2. It's a 3-hour time limit on the game, although no more innings from 2 hours 40. So we're going to reach that mark first. So to be safe to say we're final innings of the game here.
2 down.
Strikeout looking there. 3 up, 2 down for McCaffrey. Lishton out on third base, 90 feet from home, but 4 runs are going to be needed in short order. Swing and a miss. Strike 1. Pitch comes in for a ball, 1-1.
1 ball and strike.
Caffrey looking to work the slider. Drops not quite there yet. Count goes 1-2 though. Last 1 and 2 saw a strikeout thrown. There's 2 outs. Runner on third. Breakers are still 4 runs behind in a 14-time game against league leaders Edinburgh Knights. Pitch comes in and that's fouled back into the backstop.
Can I have another ball, please?
Yeah.
Potentially. Got a tail.
See the damage on the ball.
You hit it that hard.
That's gifted.
The delights of a metal backstop mean sometimes you just have the balls losing the surface. That's going into the practice ball bucket. Count is still 1-2. Runner on third. 2 away. Pitch in, swung is made, bounces down the line, goes in the glove of the third baseman. It's a slight bubble, but the run goes over to first baseman who drops it, so the ball is not there in time. First, that's potentially a tag out on the runner at first after having passed the bag. We'll see what happens on that one. There is a single, and I think an appeal is being played on. So, Liston does make it home in time. The question is do we have the third out? And there's just going to be an umpire conference there. Heyman taking the single and putting that down at the third base line, far enough away that it was possible for Liston to come in. Third baseman picked that up for the Knights, bobbled in the hand just to get control of it, thrown over to first base. It wasn't in time, but caught by Knights captain Ryan McFarlane first base. And with Heyman running into the field of play, the question now is, has he lost it over run protection and tagged out on moving round? Or whether the overrun protection is there. He was off the bag. And yep, the call is lost the overrun protection. So that is strike 3, but it's after the hit. So we're just going to check on the scoring decision there.
Run scores.
Yep.
Yeah.
Run goes in. So it's an RBI single for Heyman. But then tagged out on a 5-3. That's 3 outs in the end of that inning. Game has been running as it stands right now for 2 hours 29.
Jack.
Ball.
Top of the 5th, and we open that up with a ball. We're going into the 5th inning of 5, and we got some changes going on here as well. So team captain Mookie's come over to tell me now. I've turned the paper over. And there's a single going through, goes down through second base and just trickles out into the outfield there. It is a lead-off single there. As John Vickerman gets himself up onto base. It's a 3-hit game with a walk in there as well.
Luke, Patrick, Luke, you're up. Time, please.
Time.
1, 2, 3 order being forgetting to call on the bench, I think, there from the Edinburgh Knights as everybody works out who's up next.
They look too similar, we got confused on who it was.
Thankfully, it's Vickerman on first, so we don't have to go into the Abbott and Costello this week. Walk the Wall is up now. Strikeout, and walk. Not for 2 games so far. Runner goes from first. Vickerman steals second. On the second pitch of the game. Of the inning. It's the second pitch of the game in the 5th inning. I've done something horribly, horribly wrong. Steele goes from second through to third. Liston picks it up as the catcher throws that off wide into the outfield. Vickerman decides to sprint for home before the shortstop can pick up that ball in time and attempt to do a relay throw in there. It's a double steal all the way around to home, although with a pause there, you can credit that as 2 steals if you feel the need. The main result, though, is 1 more run on the board for the Edinburgh Knights, taking them to 15 runs in the game, with 11 runs on the other side of the Breakers. It's final inning, so there is no limit. We can go around the order as often as we like here. Knights looking to extend their lead, to making an easier defensive possible. Breakers looking to hold the Knights and keep them as close as possible. Pitch comes in, swing and a miss there from Look the Wall. Wind is picking up, still going in from third base over to first. And pitch goes wide, but the swing was attempted. And struck out there.
Let's go, Patrick.
Patrick Hartley has taken a ground out in the first inning and then walks subsequently on there. That there is hit straight into a line drive into the glove of the third baseman. 2 away.
Yes, it's got to be there, all right? We need you on base.
There's Salvaraj. Strikeout. Single. Walk so far.
Go Knights!
Count 1-0 to open up there.
One more one, strike.
Pitch comes in, reaches out to have the grounder there. Second baseman bobbles that in the glove, but it's an underarm toss to the first baseman in time. 4-3 there, 4 up, 3 down, but 1 run scores there. The Knights extend their lead by 1. It's the final inning, so their final total is going to be 15 runs. That's what they're protecting. 1 hit in that inning, none left on base, no errors charged to the Breakers. So we go into the bottom of the 5th, and the equation is relatively simple. The Knights are on 15. That's all they're going to score. The Breakers are on 11. 4 to tie, 5 to win.
Nice!
And we go into the bottom of the 5th here at Tayport, single A game. Tayport Breakers are on. Well, it's a big tough one to go on here. They are sitting on 11 runs. They're chasing the mark set by the Edinburgh Knights of 15. So 4 to tie, 5 to win. New batter Zia is coming in. First plate appearance of the day. McCaffrey staying on the mound. Swing and a miss to open up. There's the Edinburgh Knights take the first blood in the last half frame. Count goes 0-1. Strike 2. Slider comes in. We do have some pitching. We have some outfield changes for the Knights. James Horns moves over to third base. Salvaraj moves to right field. And it's a punch out. 3 up. Pitches. 3 down. And McCaffrey's second strikeout.
I don't want to hit one with no one else on the bases. True. It's a waste.
Your target is that mobile head.
In the window. I'll pay for it.
Nobody on. 4 runs behind. Pitch comes in.
We have a chance.
Murphy is taking a walk, and a single previously in this game.
That'd be so fun. I feel like someone's bed is right there.
Right now, get on base is the key. 1 out. Pitch comes in, finds the inside of the strike zone. 1-1.
One more.
O sea, fue, todavía le dije. Sí, así, sin vela, huevón. El techo está vuelto una mierda. Pero yo digo,
Moves to the outside on that one. Tempting Murphy to swing on that one as it just slips out of reach of the bat, but not taken. 2-1. And there's a solid hit, lifted up, just drops in front of third baseman as he slides to catch the ball. That's nicely placed in a quiet dead spot. And Murphy takes a single and up to first base. Not quite a line drive, not quite a pop-up. And the wind just, I think the wind blowing in from third to first just deadened that ball slightly to have it drop in front of James Horn at third base. And with that, Breakers have a runner. And that runner's going from our first up to second on a steal on a high ball. J.T. Burker hit by pitch, single has made it on base for his 3 appearances so far. 4th appearance now and on base. We would keep hopes alive for the Breakers. Swing and a miss there. Murphy holds himself up at second base. Count goes 1-1.
Lo que pasa es que esta jeva también es loca. Ella se las vaina hacia los coñazos y después cuando también tiene el pelo es que empieza a pegar de lloradera.
And steps out of the batter's box to try and get his hands on the inside of that ball for the swing. He goes down the third base line but does roll foul. Jake Burkup. Count goes to 1-2 as he takes a 90-foot walk back from the first base bag. Back to home plate to take another swing if he can. Pitch comes in, DeBurka decides to swing to that one, goes between the legs of the pitcher McCaffrey, picked up by shortstop. Shortstop considers but decides against and throw to first base, holds it there. That holds the runner at third base as well. So Tayport get their runners on the corners. Morrison steps up now, a walk and a single previously. Tying run is on deck. Runners at the corners. DeBurka decides to take the steal on, but the ball is a slow roller up to the second baseman. It's tossed over gently to first base. That's an out at first base for the second out. Murphy does get himself home to put one more run on the board, but it was the second out there, and that's a sacrifice of a run to get that out. Jake DeBurka does get himself up onto second base. So one more run caught up. It's a 3-run deficit. Tying run remains on deck. Just one out left as McCaffrey throws a strike to Black. He opened up with a double RBI single and then a straightforward single before line driving out to second base on his first 3 appearances. Fourth one now. Needs to get on base. 2 outs away and the Breakers 4 runs down here in the bottom of the 5th.
Turn! Take your base. Hit by pitch.
Hit by pitch is called.
No, he was trying to go for it and it hit him. Yeah, skimmed him.
And hit by pitch awarded to Black, so he does get on to base. Runners first and second. Tying run from Oldham is now at the plate. A walk and a ground out 4-3 previously. Pitch comes in, high and outside for a ball. Carfield just a little bit flustered after that hit by pitch call. Glance over to first, glance back to second. Good 20-foot lead being taken by DeBurka at third base, so he's got the second steal onto third. Throw goes over to first in time. We're waiting for the call. And the call is game there. Oldham out with a sharp throw over to first baseman McFarland. Final score on the door. 1 run in that inning off 1 hit with 1 left on base. Break that, 2 left on base for the Tayport Breakers, giving them a final line-up there of 12 runs, sitting there quite happily on 9 hits. 2 errors charged to the Breakers and 11 left on base, but not enough to carry them to victory against the Edinburgh Knights. 15 runs off 10 hits, 1 error charged to the Knights, at least unofficially. These are the unofficial scores. We'll wait for the full box score as we go through and put this up on YouTube. 8 left on base with the Edinburgh Knights. Final score there, 15 to the Knights, 12 to Tayport Breakers. The Knights go 2-0 in the league. League champions last year, off to a roaring start. Tayport Breakers single 18 now and a 0-1 record as they start their campaign off now. I'm Ewan Spence, Reuben Hustler providing the technical support here. Big thanks to Bash for popping in to do a half-inning call as well. Thanks very much for listening and watching here on YouTube. Facebook.com/Baseball Scotland to find out more. BaseballScotland.co.uk will help you find your local club here north of the border and get you playing this wonderful game. But for now, thank you very much for listening. I've been Ewan Spence. Hasty back.